It's really interesting because they put all the organs inside and with the heat they swell up, so it looks like they served you some little balls.
So we said, oh, let's just set up our tent here until suddenly we came across this sign that says, "Caution septic tank."
Caution, poop.
Even though I think many of us have seen wind turbines from afar in our lives, I don't know about you, but at least I had never stood underneath one of them. They are truly impressive.
Good morning and welcome to another episode of Disasters on Wheels. Today, we have a 20-kilometer journey ahead of us to Mulán Bay, which is the northernmost tip of Hainan Island. And they say it's also one of the most beautiful beaches. In fact, there's a very famous lighthouse there that for many years served as a guide to fishermen from all over the world. And today, it has also become a very popular place for cyclists. Especially because traditional tourism, which usually focuses on the city of Haiku and the city of Sanya, doesn't really reach there. But that's not our final destination because we still plan to go another 20 or 30 kilometers. We're not very sure and we have no idea how much our bodies can handle, especially because yesterday we did 45 kilometers for the first time in our lives. And by the way, if you didn't see the previous episode, right now we're in Puchian County. It wasn't on the original route and it's not very famous either. But it turned out to be an incredible surprise because the fish market in this city is wonderful. It has spectacular views and it's really worth it, so I recommend you watch that episode. For now, it's time to leave since we have a pretty long day ahead with headwinds of up to 30 kilometers per hour. And speaking of the wind, yesterday we did some research. It turns out that before 10 in the morning the gusts are much weaker. In fact, they're about half as strong, so we should be starting our days at 6 in the morning. However, yesterday I was so tired that I couldn't sleep at all. And when the alarm went off at 5 in the morning, I had slept for about an hour. So I felt that going out without any sleep wasn't really worth it. I have to admit I fell asleep for another 2 or 3 hours, so today we'll have to face it again, the headwind, and you can really feel it. In fact, yesterday Noelia and I went down a rural road and suddenly we both said, hey, this road is really well made, isn't it? You move really fast. And after a few minutes we realized that the real difference was that the wind wasn't blowing. That's when we understood the real impact. Let's hope today isn't so bad. Yesterday we went to the fish market to see the view of this impressive bridge that's between 5 and 6 kilometers long. And it connected the city of Jaiko with the city of Puchian, which saves people a lot of time, but beyond that it gives them an impressive view from the market I mentioned. And the best part is that at night it lights up in red and with it the rest of the city lights up too. Because of the type of buildings it has, at times it looks like the city of Morelos or something like that. Unfortunately, you can't ride a bike on that bridge. We would have loved to because it saves time, but oh well, it seems like we're doing all of this on hard mode. It's crazy that there are such deserted roads around here, but at the same time that's what makes it such a suitable place for cycling, especially for beginners. And there are amazing places where people stop to camp, like that van back there. What we don't know is if we're getting onto a road where cyclists aren't allowed. Because we were following the route that the young guys gave us at the beginning of the trip, and our friends warned us that if we made a mistake, no one was going to tell us. Because unlike the rest of the country in Jinan, there are no toll booths, but this is a detour we hadn't planned for because the rest stops are every 100 to 150 kilometers. While we can only go 30, maybe 40 at most, so we have to look for places to stop. Motorcycles also pass through here. First slope of the day, and yes, my knees are more sore. I don't know if I'll have to get off the bike. No, this climb is brutal with this weight. We're going at 6.2 kilometers per hour. I think here comes the motivation we needed. It's here. I'm sure they see us going against the wind with all the weight we're carrying and they must be thinking, poor guys. I really like this. Going downhill, this bike is a rocket. Finally, a rest stop. That downhill felt so good. It felt glorious after kilometers of climbing. It was literally like 15 kilometers uphill. 27 kilometers today, and this stop feels like paradise itself. We had been looking for a place to stop and have something to drink for kilometers. And we were about to stop there in an abandoned building to take a nap, but it's a good thing we didn't, because just look at what a glorious stop this is. And not just because of the stop itself, he has ducks and chickens, look. Here at the coconut dump, the man has a whole farm. I imagine he feeds them with coconut. Let's get closer. Namaduyazi? Are you all eating too? Yes. Yes, that's right. Is that Wenchangji's signature dish? Yes. Do you also have Wenchang duck? Yes. Is that why its meat is so delicious? Yes. Which country are you from? Spanish? Mexican? We're in Guadalajara. Where can you eat that special duck? Yes, there. Where is it? All of this, right? Yes, now there's the salt. Ah, that's great. Well, I'm going to eat first. By chance, we stopped at the perfect place to try the local specialty known as Wenchangji. Wenchangji is a local chicken that is very famous for having extremely tender and juicy meat. It's because of what it eats. And what does it eat? Well, precisely coconut. And the gentleman told us that we're in the perfect place because when you order a chicken, they literally take it from there and prepare it for you immediately, so you eat the freshest chicken possible. Do you want Wenchangji? I feel bad that they kill it. I kind of feel that if it's already dead, well, there's nothing to do. But here it's still alive. I don't want to be the reason for its death. No, they'll give you one from the fridge. See, here's the chicken they just killed. It's very fresh, right? Yes, they're very fresh. Oh, very fresh. I say that I like them. It's kind of strange to see how they kill your chicken here. Normally, we're not used to that, but we shouldn't be hypocrites. This dish is known as yetsuji, which if we translate it into Spanish means coconut chicken. Why? Well, because this chicken, which already feeds on coconut, is cooked in coconut water with pieces of coconut as well. No matter where you go in China, you'll always find a restaurant that specializes in this dish. But throughout China, there's no better place to try it than Wenchang, which is exactly where we are now. So with your permission, let's try this delicacy. It's interesting because they put all the organs inside, and with the heat they swell up, so it looks like they served you little balls. Look, here are the pieces of coconut and the meat. And all of this is coconut water. It's like making chicken broth but with coconut water. By the way, they also have fresh fish. Here they have their fish farm or storage, so you can be sure you're eating the freshest this island has to offer. It really reminds me of the seafood and fish market we saw yesterday in the city of Fujian. If you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend it. It's very interesting. But now that we've eaten, I think it's time to continue and start our journey to the Mulán Lighthouse. Right in front of us is the lighthouse we came to visit, the Mulán Bay Lighthouse. And everything from here on should be downhill, I hope. Ni hao, I bit my tongue.
Okay, ha ha ha.
Am I going to eat some chicken meat?
Chicken breast, chicken breast.
There are also San Migua, one. So how much is it in total? That one is 5 yuan. Which country are you from? I'm from Mexico. Mexico is in North America? Yes.
That's right.
You know,
Most people think that Mexico is North American.
your language is very good. No.
No.
It's still on the tongue. It's completely on the tongue. No.
I'm still studying. Where are you from?
I'm from Xi'an.
Yes, now I'm going to tell you that I've been to Xi'an. I love the way many Chinese people travel. For example, this guy bought a camper. They stop wherever they want, selling ice cream and making money that way. They sell ice cream, coffee, and drinks. And so they have their little mobile shop. And in China, there aren't many restrictions for that. There are many other people who do the same thing. For example, the person who sold us popcorn and other things did the same. She's in traditional clothing. He's selling sweet potatoes. Everyone sells something so they can live anywhere they want. After 30 kilometers and multiple climbs, we finally arrived at one of the most iconic points of this route, which is the Mulán Bay Lighthouse. And it's said that your trip around the island isn't complete if you don't take a picture at what in China is known as Takadian, which in Spanish would translate to viral spots. The problem is that there's a lot of traffic since everyone who goes around the island, whether by car, motorcycle or bicycle, comes here. And we've been here for almost an hour waiting for our turn. In fact, these guys also arrived about an hour ago. And look, it doesn't bother us that much because after so much pedaling, we really do need a break. But the thing is, every person who takes a photo wants to do like 20 different poses. But of course, after so much hustle and so much pedaling, you get here and you say, I have to do it, it's worth it now. Oh, now I understand what's going on. Until now, I was wondering why they didn't take the picture from another angle. But if we look at it from above down here, there's a sign marking it. It says the 988 kilometers around the island are something you have to do once in your life.
Let's see, more. Leave us as you wish.
On the other hand, you can also go up to the lighthouse. Most people don't go in, they just take a picture out here and then leave. For this video, so you don't miss out, we'll go in and see what's inside.
The tickets cost 59 yuan each and include these passports. They have pictures of all the lighthouses here.
They gave us commemorative playing cards of the Mulán Lighthouse. What a strange gift for this place, but I'll take it. Inside the complex there's a cafe and it even has its own little roof. Of course, the most spectacular views of the bay. It's no wonder the lighthouse is here, and that's probably where the employees live. But just look, someone came, set up their little chair and stayed here. I wonder if we can camp here tonight because we're still looking for a place to do it. From here you can see the beach. Because yes, right next to us is the beach in the South China Sea. And right now, we're at the northern tip of Hainan Island, which is one of the reasons why this spot is so famous. Let's see how it looks from above. To begin with, you have to get your passport stamped. Hey, that's great marketing because it makes you want to visit all of them, right? Like catching Pokemon, but with lighthouses. Ah, look, here they are. They really are around the island, so we have to play. Is it for the game or what? Okay?
Not this one.
Yeah, not this one either. Bye, Shaman. No. No?
That sucks.
We already missed one. At least we already have the Mulán one. Let's see. Let's check what's on the 4th floor. Well, just what we expected. An observation deck. If you want to go up for the views, it's worth it. But honestly, it looks better from down there. Especially because the windows are a bit dirty. Look, you can't even see outside through some of them because of the salt. But yeah, what you can see looks spectacular. If you come here and your time is limited, I would recommend that you skip the lighthouse, or at least skip the idea of going up the lighthouse and come here to the beach because the beach is really beautiful and the water is super clear. And honestly, the first time I heard about Hainan and they told me it was the Chinese Hawaii, I said no way, what a ridiculous comparison. How could China have beaches like Hawaii? And actually they are really beautiful, and keep in mind that the most famous ones are in Sanya, not here. At the entrance to the beach, they sell you all the toys, buckets, everything you need to build sandcastles. We didn't bring swimsuits. Imagine we came to the beach wearing only cycling clothes. Well, not even cycling clothes. This is a cotton t-shirt, which is absolutely not recommended for cycling. But in China, we don't look out of place because, as we've mentioned before, this is how people dress at Chinese beaches. Just like when they go to a shopping mall, people come in pants, they wear their jackets, some even come wearing coats. And the only thing they do to get into the water is roll up their pants. Here you'll hardly ever see bikinis. What you might see are face kinis, which are swimsuits that cover your entire face so you don't get sunburned. What happened, Fur?
They're already very tired.
We have a fallen soldier, Noelia. She can't handle these climbs anymore. And it's just that all day it's been ups and downs, and you really wear yourself out if you don't pace yourself. So now she's pushing the bike. The problem is that we're on some pretty sharp curves and the cars can't see us, so we're thinking about moving over to the bike lane that's over there. The danger is that bicycles come by at full speed.
Even though I think many of us have seen windmills from afar in our lives, I don't know about you, but at least I had never stood underneath one of them. They are truly impressive.
From afar, you can't imagine how big these turbines are, but the truth is that just the tower alone can be between 100 and 200 meters tall. Meanwhile, each of the blades can be between 60 and 80 meters long, but the most impressive thing is their production capacity. Because a normal wind turbine can produce enough energy to power up to 3,000 homes each year. However, this is not just any turbine. We're in China, which is the leading country in wind energy production worldwide. In fact, by the year 2025, they had 148,000 turbines like this one on land and another 7,500 out in the ocean. Thanks to that, in 2024, up to 16% of this country's electricity was produced by this type of turbine. They managed to power millions of homes with clean and sustainable electricity. And honestly, I have to say that I had never been interested in wind turbines until I stood underneath one of them. So if you ever get the chance, I recommend it, because it's really impressive to hear them and watch them go by and to think about what would happen if a piece came loose. What do the blades sound like? Listen. What a crazy tourist destination. And yes, it is a tourist destination. In fact, it has a name. Its name is the Windmill Coast. It sounds better in Chinese because it's called Fengche Hai'an, and that's because windmill in Chinese is Fengche or wind cart. Che means automobile or cart, and Feng means wind. This is the coast of the wind carts. I had never seen a beach like this before. Oh, apparently we've already found a place to camp by the sea. It's going to be a bit noisy, yes, but how many times do you get the chance to sleep in a place like this?
We thought it was going to be as easy as just putting our tent there with a view of the sea. Then we started to get confused about which way the door should face. We ended up asking artificial intelligence, and then it said, well, look for a more sheltered place where you won't get as much wind, so we came here. And then we said, oh well, let's just set up our tent here. Then suddenly we came across this sign that says, caution, septic tank.
Watch out for poop.
Watch out, poop. I don't want to camp on poop. I mean, I'd rather sleep with noise than camp on poop. We just saw this little room here and we have no idea what it is, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to put the tent in here either. What do you all think? What's inside? Nothing, just a pipe, but I'm worried it might have poop. No.
It's perfect.
Well, say no more.
Let me give you a tour of our neighborhood, which is amazing. In front of us, a beautiful lady with an impressive backdrop of wind turbines. Behind us is our garden, which overlooks the South China Sea. Spectacular. In front of us is our neighbor, who also runs a restaurant out of a camper. He picked that spot for the beautiful view. And right behind the soda vending machine is our home, at least for today. Here we set up our little tent, and there we have space to store things and for guests. And behind the main room are the bathrooms. There's one for men and one for women, and this is where we put the trash. The only thing that worries us is that the caretakers might come kick us out in the middle of the night and we won't have anywhere to go. But well, as long as that doesn't happen, this will be our home. Now let's have dinner. Lingua, hello, let's eat. Do you have another spot? Yes, there's no one here, right? Yes. Okay, I'll take it, thank you. I'm having a hot dog. Does it come in any flavors? No.
Flavor, there's no flavor.
I want the flavor.
This is the flavor, this is the flavor.
I want this one.
How many of you are coming to eat?
More or less at 7 or 8, but we're not gonna go. We're gonna be here during the year.
Oh, I understand you're coming for the year of the Ah?
Yes, at night, throughout the night.
Yes, when it's time to sell and when it's time to play. Yes, this is the best. They won't let you go here? Yes.
Because here it's farther from the city.
Ah, so we don't have any problem, right? No, we don't have any problem. I'm surprised by the amount of things they have, because they don't just have the classic noodles, but they also have ice cream, pancakes, sausages, sundaes. There's a lot of things, coffee. It's amazing. What a nice way to live, right? Ah.
Thank you.
It's a 10:15 and we haven't been able to leave. Last night we decided to camp because we thought it would be much faster and much more convenient to stop halfway, set up the tent, go to bed early, and leave even earlier the next day. But taking away the romantic idea of camping in a place like this, the truth is that it takes us about 2 hours to set up camp, and this morning it took another 3 hours to take down the camp and get ready. We get dressed, pack everything up, and clean ourselves up, and that's a key part. Why? Because when you're cycling for such a long time wearing cycling shorts,
With the diaper,
as you call it, or with the cycling diaper, the bicycle, whether you like it or not, gives you a deep cleaning of your backside, and if you don't wash your butt well, you pay the consequences. Here's another reality of camping.
do you remember that puddle of water that was there yesterday when we were setting up the tent? My sneaker kind of tipped over at night and now it's all wet. I'm going to have to pedal to today's stop with my sneakers soaked.
Or in sandals.
I don't know which is safer. I think what I'm going to do is put my foot in a plastic bag and then put it in the sneaker. I haven't thought of any other option.
I don't know how other bloggers or influencers manage to look so glamorous while they're camping, because the truth is that we woke up with greasy hair and dirty clothes.
Puffy face.
And very tired, but still the wonderful views make it all worth it. The problem is that today we were planning to do between 40 and 60 kilometers to the next city, and we started too late. So we have to leave as soon as possible. Yeah.
Oh,
They left really early and we, at 10:30 in the morning, were just getting ready to leave.
There are like hundreds of them.
I expected to record 5, but there are actually 1,000.
Here we go again. Right now we are at the Bay of Windmills, as you can see. And today's plan is to pedal 37 kilometers to get closer to the center of Wenchang City. It's still a little far, but 37 kilometers from here is where we're going to sleep. I don't know if there will be hotels or not in that place, but on the map I saw that there's a sports center and a school. So if there's no hotel, that would be very strange.
If there are, we'll keep going. I'd rather do 45 or 60 kilometers today than camp another day in a row, especially by the sea because you end up all sticky. The salt gets everywhere, even where it shouldn't. Even the tent ends up all salty. Let's see if today is the day I can learn to ride without hands. I've tried for 4 days straight and just can't get it right. Could this be the time? Here, to the right, to the right. I like this street. The time has come to leave the Bay of Windmills that I liked so much. We're starting to enter unknown territory, and besides, the day isn't exactly nice. Maybe these are the after effects of last year's typhoon, because this is an area that is constantly affected by typhoons. In recent years, there have been some very strong ones that have left quite a lot of destruction. And this seems to be the result of that time. All the fallen trees. Look at these little houses that look like they're made of plastic. I don't know if they're warehouses or homes. But just imagine living there during a typhoon. Yesterday, I was telling Noelia about staying in a tent here. It makes you feel very unprotected. You really appreciate the simplicity of having 4 walls. Even though we slept in a small storage room by the public bathrooms, the difference is huge. On this part of the road, we're not following the coastline. That's how it was shown in the local traveler's guides. As I mentioned before, on this island the roads don't have checkpoints, so there's no way to know if you're going into a dangerous street, and since it's our first time, I think it's best to stick to the traveler's recommendations, but I'll keep telling you, something that will never stop surprising me is the luxurious houses in rural China. This one is 3 stories tall with its Roman columns and everything. They even have a charger for electric cars outside, and here's how they build them. They still use bamboo scaffolding. Even in big cities, if you go to Hong Kong, you'll see bamboo scaffolding on the buildings because it's so strong. They're finishing this house and it's open, so we want to check it out. Let's see if we get kicked out. The mansions people build here really make me wonder. Why would anyone want to live in a tiny 20 or 30 square meter apartment in Shanghai? When on Hainan Island, you could probably rent this for about the same amount, and look how beautiful and spacious it is. It's huge. Here you could have an amazing living room. Over here would be perfect for a study, for working. This is the kitchen, and look at this garden. Mr. Garden, hello. I don't think you found it funny. How much would a house like this cost? Hello?
我们来看房。
How much does a house like this cost? How much does it cost? How much does it cost?
你在这里工作吧？
这个房子好。
It already has a room and everything. Look, even the bedspread is from the year of the horse. Wow, it has quite a balcony.
So they can serenade you on the beach? Seriously?
You're going to bring me?
For the law? And why? And from which side? From his uncle? All of it?
这个时间都没，你做这个书那个旧的老人，那什么，可能1、2千块钱的左右应该吧。
This beautiful young woman said the old man might be the big house for just 2,000 yen, and even the way Windmill went with you.
哦，好，谢谢。
An old house in the same area, about this size, you can rent it for 3,000 yen. Let's say you could rent this one for 7 or 8,000 yen. We pay that for a 100 square meter apartment with just one floor. In Shenzhen,
I was looking for a house in Yangshuo, one of those houses in a gated community, relatively new. It was 6,000 yuan a month.
imagine us living in Shenzhen. We'd be better off moving here. The good thing about this route is that it's all downhill. The bad thing is that it's more cracked than my heart. With so much weight, you feel like you might fall at any moment.
You can really feel the vibration, especially because the bikes we're using don't have suspension. Here come more cracks. Honestly, this street isn't that bad. It does have some cracks, it's a bit bumpy, but it doesn't have as many slope changes as yesterday. It's much nicer in that sense. If the next 30 kilometers we have left continue like this, I think we'll make it to the next stop without burning out. Today's stop.
Now we're passing through Jingshan County, and we were curious because there are a lot of hotels that call themselves official hotels of the island tour. I'm not sure what it means, but their signs are eye-catching.
And I saw that it had the name of the route and also said Kixing, which means cycling. I don't know what special services they offer.
Yeah, maybe they have a mechanic and everything. Look, here's a perfect restaurant. Look, we found a place to eat since we hadn't had breakfast. Let's stop and eat here. Hopefully it's good. Does it look good? 14.29 kilometers, 57.5 minutes. And now it's time to eat. This is the restaurant. Hello, I'm Changmo. I can only say Changmo. I can't say anything else. Hello, I'm Changmo.
江妹，
There's only tea? Isn't there anything to eat? There's nothing to eat. We're very hungry. Where can we eat?
There's a restaurant over there and one here.
There's a restaurant here. Okay, thank you. Okay, Busiang Muela. No, it can't be. They don't have food. They laughed a lot because I learned how to say food or eat in the local dialect, which is the Hainan dialect. Ah, look, how nice to eat oatmeal. Yes, good Mo. How do you say Hainan? Hainan? I can only say Hainan. I can't say more. How do you say Hainan? Ba jiao. Okay. Ba jiao and ba. How much is this? $6? $6. There's no food in the restaurant, but can we eat oatmeal? I'm going quickly to get the milk. Yes, come with me quickly to the supermarket. Let's see if they have the coconut milk we like. This is Jinshan Supermarket. Let's see what they have. I'm going to buy coconut milk. Is there anything small? Is there anything small? Yes. Is it good? Yes. Well, I recommend it to you. Now let's try it. How much does this cost? I'm learning. It's very good. Okay, I'll listen to your recommendation. Now, how much is this? Do you know how to speak Korean? I'm just learning. It's great learning while traveling around the island.
Yes.
喝怎么说？喝酒，睡酒，晚上睡酒，拜拜。
They're teaching me the local dialect. We already know Yang Mui, which means to eat and drink alcohol. I already forgot, but it's recorded here.
We haven't used our bowls in a couple of days, but this is exactly why we bought them. In situations like this, they're the most useful. I couldn't find the oatmeal, so I sent Max to buy some at the supermarket, and look at this. Now we have enough oatmeal for the whole day.
It's convenient since it comes in packets.
Oh, that's cool, yeah. Nice, good thinking, Mitzi.
No, well, it was the only one there was.
Qué buena onda, nos prestaron una mesa. No queríamos molestarlos, así que ni les habíamos preguntado.
Honestly, if you want to try the best food of your life, go ride a bike or do some intense exercise first, and when you're really hungry, anything tastes amazing.
Estómago lleno, corazón contento. ¿Cómo andas de energía para seguir, Mitzi? Estamos ya a tan solo 5.3 kilómetros del pueblito donde pensábamos originalmente íbamos a parar, pero todavía son las 2:35 de la tarde, no estamos cansados, entonces estamos pensando en la posibilidad de solo parar ahí a comer y seguirle por la tarde. Vamos a ver qué sucede, porque si ese fuera el caso, probablemente hoy batiríamos un nuevo récord de los kilómetros que hemos recorrido en bicicleta en un solo día.
Something really nice or pleasant about these places is that the regulations of big cities usually don't apply. Hi, is this for the end of the... Can I take it? Yes. These are fireworks that are traditionally set off here during Chinese New Year, and these are powerful. Which one is the smallest? The smallest one? Yes, for the end we have to take it. Is this one too big? Yes, too big. I think it's a bit big. No, this one is small. Oh, but this works really well, right? Yes, it's very good. How much is this? No, I don't know. $10, that's fine. All right, I'll pay $10. Have you already bought it? Yes, it's fine. What's the price? That's a lot. Wow. These guys were carrying a box full of all kinds of fireworks, and that's a very important tradition during Chinese New Year. Originally, it was done to scare away evil spirits during the Spring Festival celebration, but nowadays it's mostly done for fun. The thing is, in big cities that's already prohibited, and it's hard to see it unless you go far out to the outskirts of the city, and even then it's pretty moderate. However, in these kinds of small towns, you find fireworks stands everywhere, and they sell you huge ones that make a really loud bang. Seriously. There are 3 days left until the main day of the celebration, and hopefully we can get a spot like that so we can see the festivities the way they're meant to be. We're arriving at Bauló County. Apparently this place is famous for its rice noodles or something called Bauló. I don't know what they're made of, but it's a pretty small place, and the problem is that we have no idea what's here. It's an intermediate stop that's not recommended on the official route. We just decided to stop here because yesterday we did 45 kilometers, which is our personal record. We think it's better to take it easy, do 37 kilometers today, and save our energy. But we haven't seen a single hotel since we entered this town, even though there are a lot of restaurants with people drinking, sitting around all day. Having a drink and eating something familiar is good. Yeah, these are small snacks that are usually eaten in Guangdong. Let's see if there's a hotel around here. By his voice being shallow, I really hate myself, but there isn't.
这边远不远？10公里。10公里啊 ，no hay hoteles.
And there are no open restaurants because the ones that are usually open have already closed for the holidays, and that's probably something we're going to run into very often. And the next town is 8 kilometers away, but honestly, mine is destroyed. Noelia, I think she's better. How's the surf? And Lupi?
Is the hotel 8 kilometers away?
But we need to sit down and eat something, that's all. I don't think I'm going to a restaurant. Everything is closed, it's just...
There will be stores selling trinkets open, but not places to eat.
Because of Chinese New Year, it's like those selling little trees on the street. I'll ask the lady if she knows a hotel.
你好，
Is there a store or a restaurant here? Yes. Has it been a long time? Has it been a long time since you sold? Has it been a long time since you haven't sold? Yes, it's been a long time.
已经
March 5th or 6th, but where is Paolo? Where is Paolo? Where is Paolo? Let's see if we find it open. Because the Chinese eat between 11 and let's say 12:30, and now it's 3:30, it's the worst time to eat. And now, what if there's no way for the ball? And now it's over here and for your life and gives the alliance. We couldn't find food? I'm the winner. Taking advantage of the fact that we passed by this place, which is also not common, we had to try the local specialty, and its name is Bauló. Actually, these are noodles made with ground rice, just like whaling, my fan. The difference is that these are thicker, and at the same time, they're topped with a sauce that's usually thicker than this one, which has a mix of sweet and salty flavors, and at the same time, it's a bit sour. But it also has a lot of toppings like peanuts, pickled bamboo, and in this case, dried meat. In fact, this meat almost looks like a breaded cutlet. It's basically spicy. You can't choose whether you want it spicy or not, but you know we're Mexican, and if it's not spicy, it doesn't taste right. Here's the pan, which you can get more from. If you like chilaquils, you're going to love this.
This chili must be typical of Hainan because you see it everywhere.
Now let's talk about Bauló as a place. It's actually a very small town that belongs to Wenchang, and I mean very small. We're talking about it having only between 30,000 and 40,000 inhabitants, and I think it's pretty obvious because they don't even have hotels. In fact, most of the restaurants are closed because of the Chinese New Year, and this was the only place we could find, fortunately, because here we can try the local food. And the thing is, this place, despite being so small and not having tourist attractions, is actually famous among the Chinese for this noodle dish. What did you think, Furphy? Is it good or not?
Very good.
Very good, very tasty, and the peanuts give it a really nice texture, very crunchy.
I'm not sure what was in those noodles, but we finished every bowl. Maybe we were just hungry, or maybe they were that good. Either way, not one was left. And as you saw earlier, in this town it seems like there aren't any hotels that can accommodate foreigners. So we've decided that we're going to continue on the route towards downtown Wenchang. We'll look for a hotel on the way since we don't have a place to sleep yet.
Yeah, great. When did you arrive?
At 1 o'clock, that's weird. Did you offer them to him, or did he just come out of nowhere?
No, he stared at me and I did this and he came running for them. Ah, well, but he's not that little. I mean, I know they don't explode their sparklers, but let me do it, let dad or mom do it. It's a little dangerous, he's very small. I gave him a little ice, but I think he's a bit too young. So I told him to give it to his mom or dad.
His dad or mom are there? Yes.
Ah, okay, yeah, it's a little dangerous.
Well, if they don't worry, we don't either, right?
They say no, those are sparklers.
Nothing's wrong, it's a great day, let's keep pedaling. Pray for us because we don't know where we're going to sleep tonight.
We have 1 hour to find a place to sleep. We're going to get caught by nightfall in the middle of nowhere. And the thing is, all day we were waiting to get to Bauló so we could sleep in a hotel, and there was no hotel. The only town in the whole country we visited that doesn't have a single hotel. I'd never heard of that before, but apparently it exists. And to find these kinds of places, you have to do it by bike. And it makes sense, normally you arrive at a train station, a bus station, an airport, but this place doesn't have any of that. So we have to keep going and see where we end up when night falls, and if it happens here, we'll have to camp. And now we're entering the back rooms. It's that way. Along the sandpath? No way, the tires get stuck there, and with this weight, we're not going to get anywhere. Seriously, who designed this route? Seriously, who took the time to explore these alleys? My butt is going to turn into an imperial poop machine, huh? 15 kilometers and still nothing, and the worst part is that nothing looks close by. We have no idea where we're going to end up. We just saw a sign that gave us hope because it turns out the big city we're heading to is 14 kilometers away, or at least that's what the sign said. I want to trust it because if it's true, we would be there in about an hour, and that's the city we want to show you tomorrow. So we're going to try to keep going, but we don't want it to get dark because then it really gets dangerous. There's the police and an ambulance, and it's starting to worry me. No way, it's someone who got run over. Noelia, what do we do? Let's hope they don't hit us. It's already nighttime. Be careful. Go, 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 go. What do we do? Don't look back. Don't look back. Let's try to make it, Noelia, but if it gets dark, we have to get off the road, okay? That was the first accident we've seen, and hopefully the last. We've already covered 200 kilometers in 4 days. Well, The first 200 kilometers went very well, Palpalupi. We're not such beginners anymore. We're intermediate beginners. I don't know where we are, but this looks more like a big town. Maybe there is a hotel here.
On this side, there are many hotels.
Sleep, sleep, sleep.
The police are also...
There are some good ones who don't take foreigners, so we have to...
Where are there people who don't accept foreigners? There's no such thing.
I'm using the international version of the app. Everything is shown here. There's no such thing as not accepting foreigners. I'm using the international version of the app, and here it shows that there are no hotels anywhere.
Together. Well...
So I'll go, you can...
Decide the place first, okay?
I can't decide now because it doesn't show here, but when I get there...
I don't care.
2 streets for me, okay?
Thank you, thank God. We met a couple of cyclists, father and son, who were also going slowly, and they helped us find a hotel. Because nothing shows up for us on the app, I don't know why not a single hotel appears on Trip. Actually, I'm worried that they won't accept us because usually Chinese apps don't accept you. It looks like we've arrived at the hotel. Let's see if they accept us. It's the one we already passed? Thanks to our friends, we finally found a room, and it's not bad at all. In fact, it's one of the nicest we've had on this trip. Not just because the bed is one of the softest or because we have a table for 4, but also because we even have a balcony. To enjoy reading and the view tomorrow. Right there is the road we'll take to keep going, but best of all, we were invited to dinner. So, the day isn't over yet. So far, we've gone 61.23 kilometers. Let's see, how many did we plan for today?
37.
Oh my god, we did double that and we're still not done.
Such a Rambo situation.
I know he told us 2 kilometers and it was 10. No, forget that.
Start thinking about what's happening. We're riding bikes on an island on a dark street.
Trusting a guy we met on the street to...
Eat huicha chicken.
Worst part is I forgot my cycling diaper. Are you ready? Okay, thank you. What an adventure through Finland. We made it to the restaurant. It really exists. Now we're trying the famous huicha chicken.
Here there's chicken, there's chicken.
Honestly, we don't know anything. We just know that there are these kinds of spices.
就可以了。对，累不累？
It's really delicious. This is the famous huicha chicken. Normally it eats coconut, and my friend ordered 2 flavors. Let's see how it is. It's really good. Well, we've already had dinner. They invited us. This is very common here in China. Usually when they offer to take you out to dinner, they pay the bill and there's no way around it. No matter how much you ask to pay, they won't let you. They've already left. We took a picture and that's it. I didn't record much so the kid wouldn't get scared. It was a bit embarrassing, but it was great.
The 4 and a bit kilometers we walked were worth it?
And what about the ones we still have to cover on the way back? Anyway, see you in a few days with another episode of
Disaster on Wheels. 再见.